everyone. So today our topic is when, where and how from social science book class 7. For reference I am using this NCERT or CBSE book. For a previous knowledge, just a reminder, I want to tell you that Indian period is divided into three part. First ancient period, medieval period, and the last one is modern period. So here we are discussing about medieval period of India, which start from 700 AD to 1750. Then further medieval period is also subdivided into two parts. Medieval period is subdivided into two parts, which are early medieval period and later medieval period. This medieval period is divided into two parts, early and later medieval period. Early medieval period is from 8th to 13th century, and later medieval period is from 13th to 18th century. What was in the medieval period? There were so many kings and their kingdoms. कौन से राजा थे, उनके क्या नाम थे? पालास, राजपूत, चोलास, etc. So there were constant struggle of power between all of them. When there is constant struggle of power within the India, then who came from out? Being an outsider, who came? Turks in 1100 AD. What they want to do? They want to establish their kingdom in India. So they try to establish their kingdom in Delhi, which is known as Delhi Sultanate. Then what happened? So after the Turks, who ruled over Delhi Sultanate were, first was Turks, then Khaljis, Tughlaqs and Lodhis. हमने क्या पढ़ा कि दिल्ली सल्तनत में किन किन ने राज किया था? तुगलक्स, टर्क्स, खलजीज, सभी। इन सबको हटा के कौन वहाँ पे राज करना किसने शुरू कर दिया? मुगल्स in 16th century. मुगल के आने से इंडिया में क्या शुरू हो गया? कौन सी कल्चर शुरू होगी? इंडो इस्लामिक कल्चर। फिर इनके आने से बहुत सारे फूड की नई आइटम्स बहुत सारी इंट्रोड्यूस हुई, जैसे कि बिरयानी, कोरमा, पुलाव, फिरनी एक्सेट्रा जो वो खाते थे। फिर द इम्पोर्टेंट पॉइंट, आफ्टर दीज मुगल्स कौन आए? यूरोपियन traders. The very first European traders were Portuguese, then English, then Dutch, and then French. So now we will discuss about India's new and old terminologies पे इंडिया का क्या क्या नाम पड़े गए। बहुत सारे नाम यूज हुए फॉर इंडिया फ्रॉम द मेडिवल हिस्ट्री, फ्रॉम आर्यवर्ता टू हिंदुस्तान, बहुत से नाम पड़े गए। द होल टर्म हिंदुस्तान, हिंद मीन्स द सब कॉन्टिनेंट ऑफ इंडिया एंड इट इज यूज्ड बाय पर्शियन एंड अरेबिक्स. The whole Hindustan is used for only Punjab and Haryana because these two regions were between the two main rivers Ganga and Yamuna. And it is used for Punjab and Haryana by Minhaj uz Siraj. But when the Delhi Sultan came, they used the Hindustan term for whole India, including the geographical characteristics, including the cultural characteristics of India. They use Hindustan for all the Indian subcontinent part. Later that India was also referred as Bharat in the Sanskrit and also known as Bharatvarsham. So we have discussed that what was the terminology of India. Now we will discuss the source of information. मतलब इसमें क्या है कि हम जो ये सारी बातें करते हैं कि राजपूत थे, चोलास थे, ये था वो थे, इन्होंने ऐसी लड़ाई लड़ी, ये जीत लिया, ये पार्टी ऐसे पावर स्ट्रगल, ये सब हमें कैसे पता लगा? From the information, from all the source of information the historians collected. The source of information is divided into two parts, literary and archaeological. Literary वही हो गया जो लिखती में ढूंढा historians ने, but these literary and archaeological has further many sub parts. Literary have two parts, that is जो लिखी हुई चीज़ इंडियन से मिली, मतलब जो इंडियंस ने लिखा और जो फॉरेनर्स ने लिखा इंडिया के बारे में. एंड देन आर्कियोलॉजी में क्या क्या आता है? कॉइन्स, इंस्क्रिप्शंस, मोन्यूमेंट्स, वेपन्स, ये सारी चीज़ें. वी विल डिस्कस them in detail later. The very important written source of information is manuscript. Covers the information from 700 to 1750 AD. About 1100 years. It covers information about 1100 years.
This picture is of a manuscript, a very important written source of information.
1100 years. Now we will discuss literary source of information in detail. Firstly, we will learn about by Indians. So now we will discuss about. Firstly, we will discuss about the accounts of Indian writers. There were many books that describe the olden era, like Babarnama, Jahangirnama, Akbarnama, Raja Tarangini, Prithviraj Raso, Shah Jahannama, etc. etc. There were many. So all these were written as their biographies. ये उनकी biographies थी. इसमें we can see how they live, how they rule their kingdom, how they manage their kingdom, what were the rules established by them, how many taxes were there, and which taxes imposed on what people, about their fights, about all the power struggle they had. All these can be shown or can be witnessed in these books. So by reading all these books we can know that वो टाइम कैसा था, मतलब क्या होता था, कौन सी किसके साथ लड़ाइयाँ होती थी, क्यों होती थी, फिर उनका ऑब्वियसली कल्चर भी पता चल जाता था और उनकी लैंग्वेजेस पता चल जाती थी. ऐसे ही अगर जैसे हम इंडियंस हैं, हम इनके बारे में तो जानते ही होंगे. द रामायण एंड महाभारत, हम कहते हैं कि महाभारत की लड़ाई हुई, रामायण में हम राम सीता को पूछते हैं. तो ये राम सीता कौन थे, कैसे थे, क्या थे, और महाभारत की लड़ाई कैसे हमें कैसे पता लगा? ऑल बिकॉज ऑफ दीज टू बुक्स. रावण का वध कैसे हुआ, ये सब कुछ हमें कैसे पता लगा? ये इस दोनों बुक से. दैट इज वाई वी कैन से दैट इंडियन राइटर्स और राइटिंग source of information was very important.
This book is about the great ruler Akbar, named the Akbarnama, written by Abu al-Fazl. Ramayana, the one of the major Sanskrit epic of ancient India, written by Maharishi Valmiki.
Now foreign account. मोस्टली क्या कहते थे कि जो फॉरेन अकाउंट मीन्स जो बाहर से लोग आते हैं और सब कुछ ऑब्जर्व करते हैं और देखते हैं कि क्या चल रहा था इंडिया में, फिर क्या कैसे क्यों क्या चीज़ चल रही है और उसके बारे में लिख देते हैं. मोस्टली ये इनवैल्यूएबल माना गया इसीलिए क्योंकि कुछ फॉरेन्स कैन बी बायस्ड, वो बायस हो सकते हैं, बट दे आर ऑल्सो ऑब्वियसली honest source of information, foreign account information. The book Taqi-e-Hind, written by al-Biruni, written by Ibn Battuta, निकोलो कॉन्टी ने विजयनगर किंगडम के बारे में बताया है सारा कुछ. मार्को पोलो, सर थॉमस हुए थे, वर मैनी फॉरेनर्स हु केम इन इंडिया, who witnessed many things and just wrote it down on a paper. All these things also show about the golden era, about the olden era of the India. There were also writings of Sufi saints, their whole journey, Sufi saints journey. They just wrote down on the paper, and that is also very helpful for all the investigation or the history's investigation. Now our further topic is archaeological source. So now we will discuss about archaeological source of information. There were many sub-parts of this source of information like coin, monument, inscription, paintings, as you can see on this board. So firstly we will discuss about what coins depicts. Coin gave us information about the economy, culture, about the political life at that time. Okay, coins were issued by Delhi Sultan, Mughals, Cholas. All these Rajas introduced their own coin with their own picture or any specific or any important picture at that time. The study of coin is known as numismatic.
These coins were introduced by Gupta dynasty by Samudragupta. The first coin show him seated played a veena, a classical Indian stringed instrument, and the other one showed Lakshmi seated and holding cornucopia, means horn of plenty, or a horn-shaped basket having everything in abundance.
Numismatic. So now about monuments. Any building, any historical building that has some history or any historical significance, any historical importance can be considered as archaeological source, and all that include in the monuments. In monuments like fort, temple, palaces, houses of the kings, forts like Red Fort. All these kind of stuff is included in the monument. So what monument is about? Monument give us information about the culture, about the society, about the lifestyle of the people at that time. So the architecture of monument also tell us about the perfection of the stone cutting, about the perfection of any dead thing that is installed in that monument. Like we can see Taj Mahal. Taj Mahal is such a beauty, and from the Taj Mahal we can just think that how those architecture work at that time.
This is the image of Qutub Minar, also called as Dhruv Stamp and Vishnu Stamp. This minaret is named after Qutb-ud-Din Aibak, a Sufi saint.
Now inscription. What was inscription? Is a written. Inscription is a written record of court orders, the royal orders. The Rajas pass their orders. The record of those orders is known as inscriptions. Like their announcement that for example, in Akbar announced that there will be no tax levied on the religious work on Hindus. if that action, that gesture of Akbar was not written, how we can know that he do just a good thing for the Hindus? And these written record are were written on rock, stone, paper, temple walls. There were many temples. There were many temples who have something written on their walls. Inscription. The study of inscription is a scientific process. The study of inscription is a scientific process and also known as epigraphy.
This image shows a wall having something written on it, an example of inscription.
Graphic. Now painting. In the painting, the Rajasthani painting, the Marathas, the Mughals, the Deccani, all their painting depict something like their mythology, anything that describes something about their culture, about their lifestyle. That painting shows that things.
This is a painting having some historic significance.
So what we have read in all that chapter, that is the medieval period of India, right? So medieval period is divided into two parts, early and later. Early period is from 8th century to 13th century and later is from 13th to 18th. So then what we have read? We read about the source of we have read about the terminology of India. बहुत सारे नाम ऐसे ले गए to describe India, to name the India, like from Aryabharta to Hindustan, and also the India is referred as Bharat in the term of Sanskrit and Bharatvarsha also. Then we have discussed about the source of information, that there are two sources of information, literary and archaeological. Literary means we include all the written things that written can be include Indian writers and also the foreign account. Archaeological, and the archaeology we can say it include coins, inscription, monument, painting. The study of coins is known as numismatic and study of inscription known as epigraphy. So we have did Indian account. In the literary term we have did Indian account and foreign account. In the Indian there were Akbarnama, Jahangirnama, Shah Jahannama and many others like Ramayana, Mahabharata, and I already explained it about archaeological source of income. Thank you for watching my video. Please do subscribe my channel.